Welcome, everyone. We'll be starting in just a few minutes. Just going to give people a little bit of time to come into the Zoom room. We'll start in about a minute or two. All right, about 30 more seconds and we'll dive in. Okay, folks. I'm sure we'll have some other folks coming in as we start, but we want to do our best to stay on time. So we're gonna dive in here. Good morning. I'm Matt Olin. I'm the co-founder of Charlotte is Creative and an enthusiastic collaborator on Charlotte Shout. And as you know, after a year on hiatus due to the pandemic, last Friday, Charlotte Center City Partners and Blumenthal Performing Arts announced the highly anticipated return of Charlotte Shout. September 17th through October 3rd. That means 17 days of celebrating Charlotte's creativity and innovation through art and music and food and ideas and so much more, right? All over Uptown, in the streets, in public spaces, in surprising places. Plus huge bunnies, right? Huge bunnies. Just look behind Tom. Here's the thing. There are going to be lots of opportunities for our local creative community to get involved this year, which is why you are here today. To build the vast collection of Shout activities for this year's festival, Charlotte Center City Partners and Blumenthal are inviting local creatives to submit ideas through some new festival programs created to showcase local talent. Chiefly, there's Made in Charlotte, which is a sort of an umbrella name to encompass all participating Charlotte acts, ranging from visual and performing arts to culinary arts and beyond. You can submit new ideas or existing events inside of Shout. We'll be diving into that very shortly in detail. And there's Of Earth and Sky, which is a large-scale poetry installation. And there's another one called Gaia. These are other opportunities that Tom's going to be diving into shortly. So if you live and work within a 50-mile radius of the Queen City, this is your invitation to creative participation. This is your ICP. If you're an artist, designer, architect, engineer, performer, producer, you name it, you can submit your idea for so many different types of creative projects. You'll get a budget, and we're going to get into all of that. If you're a musician, you can apply to perform a sort of innovative live music experiences across multiple genres. You'll be paid. If you're a thought leader or innovator, there's opportunities to bring your bold, ambitious ideas into the Shout ideas pillar. So plenty of opportunities to get you into the act. This morning's informational webinar is intended to present you with some more specific information about applying and to get your questions answered so you have no trouble getting your application in by the May 15th deadline. And with that, I'd like to introduce you to your two Shout Sherpas this morning. First up, he joined Charlotte Center City Partners in 2001 as the Chief Creative Officer and Senior VP of Events. He actually established the first Charlotte Shout Festival back in 2002, which I know all too well because he booked my band at the time to open for some awesome national act on Tryon Street. I honestly can't even remember who. I was so excited. I think I blacked out. But I do remember being super grateful for the opportunity to play in front of a crowd like that. So Charlotte Creatives, I give you the wonderful wizard of Queen City events, Robert Crumbine. Good morning, Robert. How you doing?
Good morning. Thank you for everybody that showed up today.
And next up, he is the CEO of Blumenthal Performing Arts. He's been in that role since 2003, managing 6 theaters in Charlotte, hosting over 1,000 performances annually, tons of education programs, and the guy does it all. Board of Governors of the Broadway League, Tony voter, co-chair of the Jimmy Awards, on and on. I also happen to know he once shook Mick Fleetwood's hand years ago during his Pepperdine days in Malibu. That's right, we have Tom Gabbard with us this morning. Hi there, Tom.
Good morning, good to see everybody.
So Robert and Tom are going to give us a brief overview of Shout, and then Robert will go into more details about the Made in Charlotte opportunities. Tom will then cover Of Earth and Sky and the Gaia opportunities, and then we're going to open it up to Q&A. so you can get your questions answered by Robert and Tom. As they present their information, just feel free to drop your questions into the Q&A area at the bottom of the screen. If you look at the bottom of your screen, you should see Q&A, and that's where you should be dropping your questions as we go along, and we'll save them till the end. So with that, I'm going to hand it over to Robert. If you need a refresher on what Shout's all about, we have a quick sizzle reel recap video to share with you now.
Yeah, let me share that with you all right now.
Look at all these people out here. It's nice to see everyone involved and everyone's starting to get an understanding of what Charlotte as a city has to offer and what the arts has to offer.
I think the performing arts in general is one of the most important things for families to experience, especially together, when you can feel something and have it connect to you personally.
Charlotte should be very proud to be able to host an event like this.
Wow, where'd y'all come from? How y'all doing today? Everybody doing well?
This is just so crazy. Like, all of Uptown's been taken over by so much cool art, music, dance. It's so cool.
Super excited because there's so much talent, both local and international, that's coming here. So it's awesome.
Charlotte Shout is everything that everyone is talking about. It's a great way to bring all kinds of people and culture and community together, and it's been great. I love it.
Charlotte Shout has been so great. It makes our day so much better.
And I think it's fantastic. It's a beautiful thing. You should put it on your calendar for next year.
So there you go. It's big. Really big, and we're excited because this is our opportunity to celebrate our city, not only for its creativity, its diversity, its authenticity, but what you saw there is an event that is different than any other event that we hold in Charlotte, and this year I think it's really going to be about celebrating our resiliency too as a great city. So. Yes, this event's been around a while. It did go off on the shelf after the Great Recession, and it came back in 2019 to celebrate our 250th anniversary. And thanks to Tom and his crew and all the great sponsors that supported Shout in 2019, we were able to make this an event that we wanted to see happen every year. And yes, unfortunately, we did not do it last year, but boy, are we ready to do it this year. So I'm very excited to have you all here today. I'll let Tom say a few words, and then I'm going to walk us through the invitation. Tom?
Great. Thanks everybody for joining us, because as you're getting a sense, we really feel like there's a great opportunity to do something good for our city and good for our city long term. You know, our goal is to make this the major regional arts, ideas, food, music festival in the Southeast. Charlotte deserves this kind of iconic annual festival that people put on their calendars every year. And I think we have an opportunity to make this our own and to create something that really is Charlotte's imprimatur about creativity and distinguishes itself from other arts festivals around the world. And this weaving together of big, bold ideas that come from international sources, as well as weaving together our local artists. that to me creates a real opportunity for us to create something that we can all be proud of, and that people really do have reason to put on their calendar and mark ahead in future years. Well, last say, you know, I think a thread through this is we want this to be relevant for 2021 as well. This is an opportunity to help our city psychologically reset from this pandemic. It has really played a mind game on a lot of us. So I think there's an opportunity for us to help people to deal with that and look ahead to the future with optimism and with a collective sense of what we can do together. So thanks for joining us, and love to have you on this journey.
Great, thanks, Tom. Okay, so I'm gonna share my screen and we'll get started here on this invitation. So stand by as I pull this up. Very good, everybody should see that. So most of you probably have already seen this invitation. If you have not, it is on our website at cltshout.com. It's under the Get Involved heading in the menu, and it's Made in CLT. So if you click on that, there is a link, it'll open up, and it should be able to guide you through to all the actual applications, which is another link built into this. So I'll walk you through here if it's okay. There's a good old table of contents. We'll give you a little bit more about where everything is located and get you right to where you need to go. A little bit about the eligibility. Matt mentioned it, but to make it clear, again, we're looking for applicants that are living within the 50-mile radius or working in Charlotte. So, you know, if you happen to be I'll pretend here we have a musician that comes into Charlotte on a regular basis and performs here and does a lot of work in Charlotte, that you're eligible. We want people that are making Charlotte a better place, and it's open to everybody. There really isn't any reason that you can't apply to be in one of these categories. These are our 4 pillars: art, music, ideas, and food. That's what's holding up this event. That's what we're using as our guidelines. Just to give you a sense of where this event takes place and a little bit of the reason why we do it this way. So this is held in Uptown Charlotte. It really is relegated to Uptown at this point because we feel that it needs to be a walkable event. It needs to be an event that people can come in, park their car, take transit, whatever means they need. And then once they're here, they can enjoy everything. All the amenities are right at their footsteps, so to speak. So just to clarify here, we have Tryon Street down the middle. That is our main hub, and everything works off of Tryon Street. It will be closed during this time period with the cross streets all remaining open so that we can have free flow of traffic. And each of these blocks becomes their own workable plazas. And so we will design these to fit different needs and different ideas. The venues that you see that are highlighted here, there's a variety of them here. So our art museums, performing arts center, the park locations that are going to be a part of this: Romare Bearden over here, First Ward Park down number 2, and then a variety of miscellaneous things. We have Victoria Yards at the corner of 7th. We have the 7th Street Public Market, Maginot, and all the way down at the bottom there you see the Government Center. That's an important piece of what we do. But we go all the way up to 11th Street where we have Charlotte Ballet and McCall Center. And then you have the rail trail. That's this little dotted line here that kind of takes us down into South End. And we will expand a little bit into South End this year. But again, our primary footprint is what you see here on the screen. So as you're thinking about your ideas, your installations, the things that you might want to submit, this is the zone that we're talking about. Let's start with art. We're looking for really amazing art installations from storytellers. We want to tell stories with the art, so we're looking for people that have an idea and a story to tell. So artists, designers, creatives, architects, engineers. There could be a business that is interested, or educational institutions that might have something they want to do. And we have several different ways, and you're going to see this common throughout. We have In this particular case, we have a couple of different ideas here under projection art and light art. The light art is, I want to clarify that it's not a primary focus of your work. However, it should include something in there that involves light. And our key here is that we want this to be enjoyed both during the day and at night. And we wanted to highlight, people are attracted to light as we saw. But great example is Nick Napolitano's work from 2019. It was a beautiful mural. During the day, you saw this great mural. At night, it completely transformed, and it was interactive, and you could change the way this mural was represented. The seesaws, obviously great thing to ride on during the day, but at night all of a sudden you have all of this wonderful light that was changing things. So that gives you a sense there. If you're a projection artist and you want to do some 3D mapping, we're looking for you. And we're not going to call out any specific locations at this time. So what we're asking you to do is to consider some architecturally interesting buildings in the uptown area. Maybe some sculpture objects that you could project on. Maybe the Disco Chicken might come to mind. Ground surfaces or alleyways within that footprint. There's a lot of interesting spaces that projection art would work on. So consider that. And in this particular case here, we have assigned a budget to this. That $15,000 budget is specifically for your fee, your labor cost, the building of the installation. We will accommodate some of the other pieces like the power and the security and help you with some of the basic maintenance there. We're also looking for immersive art, and this is a chance if you just want to come with a great idea, artistic approach. Maybe you're Martha Connerton and you have a dance show that you want to produce that really tells a story, or you have some thought-provoking idea that maybe combines all of our pillars. This is your place. And again, we've assigned a budget to that of $10,000. Similar scenario. This is an all-in budget where you bring the art to us, and we will, select a number of those to produce during the event. The third way to get involved is for those organizations that already are doing things. If you're a venue, you're a cultural institution, nonprofit, an event producer or a promoter, you have an idea, you have something that you've already created, for instance, or you are working on a show that's maybe it's a festival that you've already had in mind, or you're doing it on a regular basis, but September, October timeframe fits for you. This is where you submit. So there are 3 ways of approaching this from our funding model that is fully funded by you and a sponsor or several sponsors. This is partially funded, and as well as asking for full investment from us. So consider this if you fall in that category. And this is kind of a catch-all, to be quite honest, because a lot of people can see themselves presenting an idea in this world. Some notes on the installations. We are looking for items that will be durable. They need to be able to stand up for that full 17 days. They need to deal with weather. If it's got moving parts, let's make sure that it works. From a sustainability side, we would really like to see installations that can be reused in some other way. The materials should be able to go back into the system and not just go to a landfill. And then from accessibility standpoint, if your installation is one that involves anything in the way of audio or some type of sensory piece to it, we want people to be able to enjoy it. So make sure you're thinking about everyone that will come and see this. We've got a large audience that wants to participate. And this is your chance to make sure that everybody enjoys your work. This part down here on what to apply, this just gives you a brief idea of the things that you're going to be needing to do when you get to the application. But it should be fairly common sense. We're going to need to know a little bit about your idea. We need some tech specs so that we understand what is involved. A little bit of information about you, and maybe we'd love to see a little bit of your work. Any references you can provide, your budget, and any renderings that you might have. Let's talk music real quick. On the music side, this is our Music Everywhere opportunity here, and we're looking for we're not just looking for performers, but we're looking for innovative performers and across the genres. So we didn't specifically put the genres in here because we want to see what people come back to us with, but we've got opportunity for emerging, we've got established, and again, we've got that opportunity for producers and promoters. So we will build showcase stages, and the number of showcase stages will really depend on how many people we are and performers we're going to showcase. But specifically, as we look through this, we're open to solo artists and full bands. You will get one set. You will get a maximum of a 40-minute set. The stages will be, in fact, hosted. So, the reason for this is about audience and artist development. So we want to make sure we've got somebody on stage to introduce the band, to talk to the band or the performer, and to make sure people know who that is. There's a lot of you out there that are looking for this opportunity to be in front of an audience. So we'll guarantee you one performance. There's a chance that you may get more than one performance throughout the festival. We will provide all the production, so all the sound, lighting as necessary, and we will do basic backline. So for those of you on the music side, if you need, just the basic things, we'll have a drum kit, we'll have amplifiers, we'll have those things that are needed so as to not have to bring your entire setup. We're also going to work with you to make it easy. So we don't want you to have to go park in the parking deck and then schlep all your gear to the stage. We're going to make it much easier, and we're going to get you free parking. So keep that in mind. You will also be required to do a 30-minute meet and greet. We really do want to do this development of our artist and our audience. So keep that in mind, because this is an opportunity for you to greet people and give them more information about who you are. And then lastly in here, and really important, is that we want to socialize our music industry. It's very important that you all get to know each other and learn from each other, and hopefully be able to work together. So we're going to create a backstage lounge area, a place that people can hang and meet and talk, and that'll be open throughout the entire festival, and that'll be an opportunity for you to meet your friends and colleagues. Again, this is a place where you will have to supply us some music samples and audio files and so on. So that's fairly self-explanatory there. And I know this is a question, and we will answer this question as we go forward, but there will be a stipend. We will be paying. We're not asking bands to come or performers to come and do this for nothing, but obviously this is not a situation where we're looking for a band to say, hey, I just want to do a performance and this is my fee. This is an opportunity where we will pay you a flat. It'll be fair for everybody, but we're turning over a lot of things for you as well. Again, third-party proposals, quickly, the same idea. Okay, this funding model is set up in the same in all four pillars. But if you're a promoter, you're somebody that has an idea for maybe a small music festival or something that you want to do, here's your chance to apply there. But keep in mind, we're looking for innovation, okay? We're looking for new and creative ideas, not just the usual suspects here. Under ideas, this is big. For us, we believe that this is one of the major pillars, and the idea of bringing innovators and thought leaders together, people that really want to make a difference in our city, our region, and our planet, and have things they want to talk about and share and work with others. So this is the place where change makers can take the stage. It could be a talk, a workshop. You could have a documentary. This could be a film festival, a podcast that you have. This is also a place for demonstrating technology that you might have. You might have a game technology or some other type of tech that you want to share with the world. Here's a great opportunity to do that. This is where you really get into some big, bold ideas, okay? And this one is strictly based on that funding model. So we just want to hear from you here, okay? And don't hold back. We are really seeking great speakers, great thoughts, great ideas. Lastly, on the food, this is an opportunity for us to celebrate the amazing food that we have here in Charlotte. And Charlotte Shout, when it was first created, started with the celebration of food. It was the major component of our event. The culinary arts experience really helped to bring Johnson & Wales to Charlotte, and we had Compass Group supporting, and the Food Network, and it was a huge event that really celebrated the art of food. And so this is bringing back a little bit of that idea here. We want you, food artisans and chefs and folks that have creative food and beverage ideas, to be a part of our festival. So here's where you need to submit your concepts. Again, the funding model is the same: fully funded, partially funded, or seeking a full investment from us. And this is a little different. So sending in your portfolio. I know you're not going to be able to upload your food, but give us some ideas, and then we will be in touch to discuss more. Now, I want to clarify one thing for those of you that might be looking for a strict vending opportunity. If you're a food truck or a food reseller, this is not the space for you. We need you to send a note to vending@charlotteshout.com that you're interested. They will send you an application that you can fill out. We will have opportunities for vending, but this is really more about the creative side of food, not about just selling food. So keep that in mind. And I'll also suggest that under some of the other categories, if you're an artist that goes to art shows and art fairs and sets up to sell your work, Charlotte Shout is really not that type of an event. We haven't ruled out the idea of a small art fair as part of the 17 days. So if you're interested, again, vending@charlotteshout would be the place that you could submit. But this is not the typical white tents on the street type of event. We really want to showcase artists and creatives and big ideas. At the application part itself, you're going to have to submit these online. So make sure that you can get to a good computer and get good internet. There is a separate third party that's called Slide Room. That's where you will go. Everything is there. Each one is ready to go for you. A note to anybody that's looking to do sponsor activation: this is not a place for you to come in again and sell your company. We have opportunities for sponsors. So if you are interested in that, please reach out to us on that. The process will go as follows. We will have more of these workshops. Now, the future workshops will really be about digging in and working with you more in breakouts and understanding what your questions are, or helping you with your ideas. If you've never done this before, we still want you to submit. So we've got some opportunities that will be coming up. We will announce those, but it's all listed here as our proposed dates and times. And then May 15th is that deadline to submit. Early June, we will notify the artists or the applicants, and then we get busy. July through September, we're going to have a lot of work to do. At the bottom of this page, each one of these is a direct link into the application for each of these pillars. So if you're at the bottom of that page right there, that's where you will click through, and it will take you to the Slide Room. We have a few questions here that we've got there. Again, here's your applications. If you missed that other link, you can click through here. A little bit of FAQs. We don't have a lot of FAQs yet because this is the first time we've done this. So clearly, as we start to develop questions from you guys, we will add those to this. So that's the invitation to creative participation. I'm going to stop sharing real quick here. And there you go. So I think I'm going to answer a couple of questions real quick as I see them pop up here about painting a mural. Yes, we would work with you on space for the murals, and sizes to be determined. So you need to present us with what you're thinking. And if you see a building or a spot in Uptown that you think would be a great place for a mural, please present it in your proposal. Don't be afraid to say, man, I I want to paint the side of the AT&T building. That's fine. Let us know where you want to go. That's how we'll work with you and figure that out. And I would, as a mural artist, I think you could do a couple different things. You could either go under immersive. I think you could be under the light art if you have some way of including light in there. And yes, a third party, you could also do it there. So there's 3 different opportunities. It just depends how you feel good about putting in your proposal. We're going to look at all of them. And then stand-up comedy. Tom, you want to answer that one?
Sure. We'd love to have it. So it would certainly be in that art category, immersive art. So yeah, just fill out the form and submit it. We'd love to see it.
Yeah. So we'll pick up some more questions as we go along. I'm going to turn it over to Tom. He's got a few other specific ways that you all can participate.
I want to highlight a couple of anchor projects that will be a part of Shout that are, intended to be great opportunities for the public, to engage in a project, but particularly intended to be a catalyst for other activities like the things that we are hopeful you'll propose that key off of the themes of those major projects. So the first one I'll talk about is called Gaia. This comes from the UK, an artist by the name of Luke Jerram, who's created an art piece that really beautifully reminds us of the beauty and the fragility of our planet. And that's a subject I think is on a lot of people's minds, the necessity to do a better job of caring for our planet. It's an art piece, not a science piece, and yet it raises all sorts of issues from science to politics to sustainability, all sorts of things. And the last thing I'll mention, we'll show a quick video about it, is that the artist loves activation events that tie in with it. So we'll be doing this in Founders Hall, but we'll be eager to hear proposals for ideas of concerts, talks, gatherings, whatever, that utilize that space. It's intended to be active space. And with that, let's just look at a short video that explains a bit about it.
Apollo 8, this is Houston. It's a good picture of the horizon. We can't see many terrain features as yet. Apollo 8, Houston, we're beginning to pick up a few craters very dimly. The whole thing is pretty bright. Roger, there's not much definition up here either on the horizon. We're now approaching the craters C and Bandit.
I was immediately moved to tears. My daughter said to me, "Why are you crying?" I said, "I'm not crying, I'm just humbled."
It was very cool because it was really big and you could lie underneath it and have photos where you hold it.
You come off the busy street and everyone just stops and there's like a sense of stillness as it's spinning around really slowly.
I just felt really proud in a weird way as well.
All of your senses are involved.
It was amazing. You come from normal life and then you get this little glimpse of something behind the door and then you walk into this amazing dark room.
My name is Luke Jerram and I'm the artist behind the Gaia Earth artwork. Humanity has been staring at the moon for 200,000 years. The moon has inspired so much music and mythology and literature in every culture right around the world. Whereas it's only been 50 years that humanity has been able to see our planet Earth, from space as a blue marble floating in the blackness of space.
I was so mesmerised by it.
It's quite awe-inspiring, really.
That mixture of fragility and strength that is there.
We were thinking about how small we were.
And it feels like I'm on the moon and I'm looking at the Earth.
It makes us wonder perhaps what we're doing to our world, what it'll be like for our children's children.
It's probably the first time that my son has seen the world in that sort of context. He doesn't understand yet, but he will one day.
It makes you feel very small.
I think we need to save the world.
I'm hoping when people come and see this Earth artwork, they'll realise the beauty and the fragility of our planet and that actually it's our only home and we really have to look after it.
If we don't take action, the collapse of our civilizations and the extinction of much of the natural world is on the horizon. Together, we can make real change happen.
So there's some background on Gaia. Again, this will be at Founders Hall, but if you choose to do something that ties into this, it could be anywhere in the zone we're trying to create here. What we're trying to do is just to get people thinking about this, and again reminded about the beauty and the fragility of our planet and the necessity for us to be good stewards. And as a part of this, we'll have a partnership with Trees Charlotte and work on seeing what we can do to raise some money for the good work that they do, so that we have a local response to what people are seeing through that project. The other one I want to highlight, and it actually comes from the same artist, Luke Jerem. We had actually had Luke and Gaia teed up to be in Charlotte Shout 2020 and have pushed it a year later. But in the meantime, last summer, he did another project that seemed very much in tune with our goal of trying to create opportunities for people to share what they've been through this last year. Because we all have different experiences. We all have a story to tell about what's gone on with us this last year, and things to share about what our goals are for the future. And so creating an opportunity through Shout for that sharing is really important to us. And so this particular project called Of Earth and Sky, I saw as a tremendous opportunity for us to unleash that a bit, to create an opportunity for people to share these things. So it keys off of poems and lyrics submitted by the public. And we've actually begun that process of trying to collect those poems and lyrics. Blues Rogers on our Blumenthal team is heading that up. We're having a whole series of workshops, and this is open to anybody in the community. But I'm focusing on it because I hope it'll be a point of inspiration to say, what other ways can you help us find to allow people to share what this last year has meant to them, good, bad, ugly, and also what their aspirations are for the future. So we have another short video about that project.
About a year ago, I was contacted by Gloucester Culture Trust about creating a new large-scale artwork for Gloucester. And with a lot of the art projects I create, I try to leave space for the public to be creative. And so in this case, we did a call out for poetry from people from right across Gloucestershire, submitting their poetry to be expressed and scaled up and presented across the city on a large scale. And it's been extraordinary. We've engaged all these amazing local communities, and we've created 31 sculptures that are distributed right across the city for people to discover, almost like a giant sculpture trail.
When I was looking through the poetry submissions, it just drove home to me something that I kind of already know, the rich kind of tapestry of different artists that we have here. That just needs a platform, and this is the perfect thing to give it to them. I mean, the idea that somebody has written out these pieces and they live in the area that they've been put up, they get to walk past that and see that every day. It just kind of drives it home to that individual that their talent is worth something.
So it's been a massive feat to get all of the work across the city at 31 different locations, but we've had amazing support from loads of different members from the community, and they've all chipped in, got dirty with the paint, and it's been an amazing response.
It's life skills for the children because it's learning how to take instructions. So it's been all good, and we need it in our town because the children's been off for 6 weeks and they've not done nothing. This is the first week they've actually done something in any engagement with any group of people from outside coming in as projects.
We've been all locked up, confined, and to be outdoors, meeting new people, and to have a project to get stuck into, it feels nice to have some purpose again. And just to see Gloucester hopefully being put on the map, I think.
In terms of key themes that have come through, some of the poems relate to climate change, some of them relate to a sense of community, and of course we're living through a pandemic. Some of the poems reflect that as well. I think during the pandemic we've really valued our green spaces and our public spaces. They felt like safe places for communities to go. And so it made sense to be able to create poetry and artwork in those safe spaces.
With the easing of lockdown, people can now have the freedom to come and explore the city, read the letters and enjoy making a little route of it. At the park yesterday, once everything was finished, it was great to see families running around and the kids reading the letters as they ran around. So I think people are really going to love the project and it's going to be a good thing for the city.
So again, we've opened this already to poem submissions, but a key reason I wanted to share this today is just as hopefully an inspiration point to say, what other ways can we unlock the ability of people to share their stories and to actively participate, because we have a great opportunity here to help our city come out of this horrible pandemic we've been in, and that art and the opportunity to be together and shout can be a part of that process. Robert.
Great, thanks, Tom. I'll turn it back to Matt. I think we've got some questions and we'll go from there.
We do. The questions are coming in. So let's start with this one. Are you looking for a specific genre in the ideas pillar of Shout?
No, we're looking for big ideas. We're looking for people that just want to blow our minds with thoughts and innovation and creativity. And let's not we're not going to limit ourselves to anything. So bring on your thoughts, guys. This is your chance.
Awesome. Can you submit? Angela asks if you can submit an application under multiple categories.
Absolutely. We're not going to hold you back if you find different places that you could fit. But I would suggest, as a creator myself, I know the urge to sort of go into different directions. You know, really think about what you want to do, focus on the thing that you think you can do the best, and make sure that you are submitting there. But if you feel like you have a couple of ideas that you could submit and do great work on, bring them to us. We'll review them. We have a great team that will be going through and reviewing all these, and we'll ask you questions too. This is not the application is not the last time you're going to hear from us. It's not just that process. So yeah, feel free to submit to multiple categories.
Right. So to Robin's question, an entity could theoretically apply for a community art project and also an ideas presentation. There's nothing holding them back from applying in both ways.
Absolutely.
Okay. Martha asks if exterior projections could lead to an interior performance, and in which category would that fall into?
Martha, I think it's either both the projection or the immersive. I mean, I think immersive probably would be the most likely, but again, I think that if you're involving projection art in there, but you want to include your, there's a dance performance or something else that's happening, I would probably lean more towards that immersive application.
A couple more music-related questions here. One is, are you looking for innovative music stage production providers that bring light and art installations to a music stage? And if so, which application might that be?
That would be more of a third party kind of scenario in the music area. Perhaps, you guys are going to help us. This is our first time doing this type of invitation. So There may be a little bit of moving things around from one category to the next, but we'll work with you to make sure it's in the right place. But go ahead and choose. If it's a music related, then let's go with music. That'll help us start the process.
Ron has a music question here. Obviously, we've heard the word innovative a lot. That's a big part of the DNA of Shout. And it was mentioned in regards to music performances as well. Ron wants to know if there is space for classical music in the festival.
Yeah, I think Tom, right? We want it all.
Sure, absolutely.
There's no, that's why we didn't put that genre specificity. We want you to tell us what you have. If you're, if you're in the classical realm, let's hear from you.
Got it. Cool, thanks. Ingrid asks, how much time do you have to set up your project? In her case, it's a mural, after you are accepted into the festival and before the beginning?
That's a great question. If you're a mural artist, we want that mural work being done during the festival. So consider that you would have a 17-day window to produce your work. We want people to see you doing your work and enjoy that. If you remember 2019, Pichiavo came and did their work on the Charlotte Ballet building. That was happening during Shout. So there's some time ahead of that to prep the wall, get things ready. But if you're actually going to do your installation, if this is an art installation that is interactive, that will have some set up, and then we want it operational during Shout. But if you're doing something that involves you creating something on the spot, we want people to see you doing your work.
Yeah, so to your point, this is not just about the amazing product. This is about the process as well, pulling the curtain back so that festival attendees can see the process at hand.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Cool. Someone asked, do you need professional hosts for shows?
That's it's a good question. I think that would be a place on the website. If you go to contact us, you can send us some information under there. There's a place to fill out a form. Again, that comes under more of a straight booking. If you're somebody that we don't know about and we want to talk to you, we'd love to hear about you. No doubt about that. We want to get your information, but that doesn't really fit in this particular category of invitations.
Tom, this one may be for you. Rory asks if a play or musical would qualify.
Yes, it would. Yeah, I think it would. The interior performance things will be subject, to our just our venue schedules. And I will say, I think for our interior venues, it's really important for us to focus on things that can turn over quickly. So I would be unlikely to make a commitment to say, okay, I'm going to give somebody this theater for the week, because I think it's the nature of Charlotte Shout, hopefully, that we have a huge quantity of things that people can choose from. And so if you look at the major festivals like Edinburgh, for instance, they share space frequently. They turn over the space multiple times in a day. So if you're looking at things, that involve an interior space, expect that the winning ideas will be those that will play nicely with other people, that allow us to turn over the venue quickly, perhaps, again, having multiple things in a day so that we can, just have this great quantity of things available.
Awesome. Thanks, Tom. Angelica asks if there's a space for local nonprofits to showcase some talent. She shares a little bit here that she has their Charlotte's first and only double Dutch jump rope team, which is awesome. They want to get kids and adults involved in the jump through the jump rope, first performing with music and dance, and of course, opening up to those who want to learn more about it. Would that fit?
Only if Matt and Tim will be on the team. That's the only way that we will allow that into the festival.
We can be the before and after. We be the before. How not to double Dutch jump. Yeah.
We of course we want to hear from you, and go ahead and apply under ideas or art. I mean, there's a number of places that something like this could really makes sense. I mean, what you're doing in the community would be is important, and I think it would be fun to watch and people will truly enjoy that creative approach to dance and activity.
And Matt, let me say, you know, we have these 4 pillars that are important programmatically in helping to communicate to the public, but I don't think anyone should be intimidated by that, and especially trying to figure out, ooh, where do I fit? You will fit if you have a good idea. That's what matters most. Don't worry about the categories. And so that absolutely should not be, you know, an impediment. And so if you're looking at that and say, oh, where is this? Just pick one, fill out the form, and get it out there. Because frankly, these things that don't fit a niche, those may actually be among the most interesting, that they really do cross over into a number of different categories. So just pick one and fill out the form.
Absolutely.
Great
Just think
advice.
about it.
You know,
how would you submit a big giant globe of the, you know, a big Earth hanging in I mean, there's no place for that, right? That's a good example. So please bring us your big ideas.
Yeah.
Okay, let's get creative, Charlotte. This is it. Oh,
Let's get creative.
I was leading you there, Matt.
But I do appreciate the sentiment that if your idea, if you happen to submit it through, you know, maybe not the exact right channel, it's not going to just go out into the abyss. You know, the Charlotte Shout eyes are going to be reviewing all of these ideas as they come in. Hey, our friend Cara Diaz from CLT in Espanol asks, will this recording be available afterwards? I imagine the answer is yes to that.
Yes, we are recording it. We will put it up on the website so that it is available for, and it'll also go out on our Facebook channels as well. So it'll be available later this afternoon.
Are you all looking for live recording providers, both video and audio, of performances? Oh, okay. This is a potential vendor looking to maybe help capture some of the work.
That's more of a vending scenario. So vending@charlotteshout.com. That's where you would submit.
Cool. Another music related question. Is it mandatory for the band to use the drum kit and the amps that are provided?
No, of course not. We just want to make it easier on you. So again, that's the kind of stuff that we would get, as they say, into the weeds with you. If you were selected, we'll go over your production needs and make sure that everybody's happy with what you're going to need.
Those are all of the questions that have been submitted up to this point. I think we've successfully tackled them all. Good job, guys. Any other final questions? Now would be the moment. Otherwise, Robert, are there additional information sessions that folks could attend if they have other questions that pop up as they're filling out their application, or perhaps they just know other Charlotte area creatives that they want to send to the next information sessions?
Yes, absolutely. So we probably won't get into depth on the application like we did today. I think the future idea is for you to come with an idea or a concept or something that you need a little help with. And we will have members of the team available to take you into a breakout room and work with you directly and give you some pointers. We're not going to spend hours with anybody, but we do want to be able to help you a little bit through the process. So if you're struggling or you're looking for a collaborator, perhaps, maybe we suddenly find that there's several people that have a nugget, but they don't really know where to go with it. This is the opportunity here. Think of this as this open call for all kinds of ideas, creative, otherwise. That we want you to feel that you have a chance, and we want to work with you and make sure that you can get the best application in that's possible.
To that point on collaboration, which of course is one of the sort of tenets of the Shout experience, I want to kind of preempt maybe a question that others might have now or in the future. Could two groups collaborate on an idea to increase the budget? Or if a collaboration happens, would it remain at the same budget level? Is the budget specific to the idea versus the number of collaborators in the idea?
You know, it's kind of like what Tom said. Don't worry too much about all the numbers and the pillars and all of that. Give us your idea. Let us then decide where it works. We will work with you. And again, folks, this is only really the first year, right? I mean, we're coming back. Shout's a new animal that we're creating together as a city and a region. So there's going to be some things that we're going to learn and we're going to tweak as we go along, but we're going to work with you to make sure that we put the best thing out there for everyone. So yes, collaborate, and if it works out that the money needs to be more and it's something that we really want, we're going to see what we can do to make it happen.
Can I mention as
Yes,
well, and I think people would probably expect this, but I'll just say the words. We are going to be mindful of the fact that by the time we get to September, COVID is not behind us, and that we're going to have to do things safely. And so, you know, we expect that there'll be a lot of things we'll be able to do, other things that, you know, we'll need to be mindful of it, and perhaps, especially indoors, there may be a masking requirement. There may be certain things that are just a bridge too far right now, you know, like having a rave or something where everybody is really close together. But I just want to say we are going to be mindful of this, and it's important for us to reassure the public that we're going to create a safe environment for people.
Great point, Tom. Thank you. Angelica did have another more specific question here. If selected, can the Charlotte Shout logo be added to their website as a sort of a partner organization? Are there
Of course, we would expect that, and your social media, and talk about it and get it out there. We want everybody to come, and you know people we don't know, so please.
Yep, absolutely.
Matt, can I also offer, you know, everything you can do to help us spread the word about this will be so appreciated, because this invitation is sincere, that we want to hear people's best ideas. And so we have a little bit of time to gather those. We don't have an unlimited amount of time. And you know, being a realist, I know that there'll be a point in time this summer where somebody will say, oh, I didn't know anything about it. And we'll all feel horribly about it. And yet for us, you know, logistically to pull this off, for us to be able to market it correctly to the region, we are going to have to make some decisions and then move on. That is just a fact of life. So you can help us minimize the number of people that will be disappointed that they didn't have a chance to pitch an idea. You can help us minimize that if you can help us spread the word.
Absolutely. We'll be doing that as well through the Biscuit and other channels. And we want everyone to know that they're invited to participate in these creative ways. I think that may be the end of our questions. I have one final question, which is if I wanted to do huge inflatable meerkats, could I do that? Or does that conflict with the bunnies? I don't know.
I'm excited already. I mean, I'm picturing it on Tryon Street. So
great. I'm working on it.
Good.
Folks, maybe we'll see you at some forthcoming informational webinars as we get a little more into the weeds on your applications and your ideas, really sort of refining those ideas. But thank you for attending. Robert, Tom, any final words? I think we're good. Awesome.
We're great.
Look at that, 9:59, right on time too. I think that's a good bellwether for how smoothly Shout's going to go this year. Folks, thanks so much, and thanks for bringing your creativity and your creative energy to this amazing annual festival. I cannot wait for this to happen this year. See you, folks.